Hey guys, DSCuber here, and today I'm bringing you a puzzle unboxing. Over the last few weeks, I've accumulated about $100 worth of different puzzles, and I felt like I might as well combine it all into one large unboxing video. And this is actually the most valuable unboxing video that I've ever done. So I'm pretty excited about getting into some of these cubes. So let's do it. These first few cubes that I have right here are actually from an airport. So I went to Texas 1 weekend back in October, and these two cubes I saw in the airport gift shop. This one was from when I was laying over in DC, and this one is from Texas. So I actually opened up the Texas one and then forgot that I wanted to make a video on it, so I saved the wrapping and put it back in there. And that was like the easiest thing that I ever did, because yeah, I really don't know why I kept that wrapping, but either way, this is the Texas Cube, and this one is the DC Cube. So these cubes were each $5, and they are basically just like mementos from the different cities that I was in. I didn't stay in DC when I went away to Texas, of course. It was just a layover, but I've been to DC before, so it's nice to have a cube from the city itself. So let's give these cubes some first turns. Alright, so they more or less feel the exact same. They're nothing super spectacular, of course, because they're just like really crappy dollar store designs, but like I thought these cubes were going to be really bad, but honestly, like they're not terrible, and they're mainly for a collector's piece. Like I'm never going to speed solve either of these cubes. They're just for me to say that I have them, that I visited these cities, and they serve as just a piece of my collection. But with a little bit of lubrication and tension adjustment, they're probably going to be pretty good. So these next two cubes I picked up from this store called Go Games. I've actually purchased some stuff from them before in the past, such as my missing link and one of my little marble machines. And there's a Go Games that was nearby from where I live, and I decided to check it out, and they had two different puzzles. This first one is based on the movie It, so perfect for Halloween, of course. You know, it's got a whole bunch of pictures from the movie just printed on it. And this other cube is just like one of those idiots cubes or dodo cubes. Basically, no matter how many times you turn it, it's going to remain solved. And I figured this would be a neat little joke gift or whatever, because I don't have a dodo cube, and I thought it would be really cool to have. Alright, so here's the It Cube, and we're going to give this thing some first turns as well. And I have no idea what I just did. Just a random sequence of moves, and it looks like I already scrambled it, so oops. But either way, this entire cube is printed, so it's like the stickers aren't actually stickers, it's like it's been painted on. So I could probably tell you, like, this isn't going to remain the same quality if it gets like a significant amount of use, mainly because it's like the stickers could probably easily scratch because it's like just paint. So either way, it does actually turn pretty well. If you remember the puzzle that I picked up with the missing link, it was like the Hellraiser cube. That was also from a Go Games place, so I have a feeling they purchased this cube from the same supplier. So it's not terrible quality, it's just the stickers are actually like painted on, and again, kind of like the Texas Cube and the Washington DC Cube, I don't really see myself speed solving this. And this right here is the Idiot's Cube. This is, of course, like a dodo cube, but it's got flashy metallic stickers, and turning it, it doesn't turn that great, and I honestly didn't really expect it to, but nonetheless, it's nothing that you'd speed solve with, so why this really matters, it doesn't. It's just, it's one of those crappy dodo cubes, flimsy stickers, flimsy puzzle build quality. So nothing super spectacular about this dodo cube / Idiot's Cube, but still just a neat little thing to throw into my collection. So this last set of puzzles comes from a store called Tada, which sells like novelty gifts and other games, and the reason why I found this store is actually because Adam Cohen, who's a puzzle designer, he found some of his puzzles in this store. I forget exactly which ones he designed. It might have been the Ghost Cube, but regardless, he sent a picture to Instagram with him inside this store, and it was like 15 minutes from where I go to school, and I'm like, I have to check this thing out because they've probably got a decent selection of puzzles if they have one of Adam Cohen's puzzles in stock. So sure enough, they had a Mefferts Megaminx, Mefferts Gear Cube, and this thing that I've never seen before. It's called a Cubix Tube, which basically it has like this marble in it, and it's like a maze, and when you put the marble inside the maze, and then you scramble it up, all these tubes come out of alignment, and the goal is to solve it so that way you can navigate the marble out of the maze. So I thought that was a really neat design, and I figured I might as well pick that up. And I also picked up this fidget spin cube. My goal was to just paint this whole thing black and then cut some stickers and put like a Rubik's sticker scheme on this, so that way it looks like a Rubik's Cube, but it is like a spinny cube kind of thing, and I don't have one, so I figured I might as well pick it up. Alright, so this here is the spin cube, and let's give this thing a little flick. And yeah, it spins really nice, it's really lightweight, and I think if I were to paint this thing black and throw some stickers on it, it could turn into like a really neat fidget-style spinner with Rubik's themed stickers on it. So I'm going to hold on to this and hope to paint this at some point, but it's actually a really neat puzzle, and I'm having a lot of fun just flicking this thing around. It's like palm size, so you can just flick it with one finger, and yeah, I really like this. Alright, so after messing around with this thing for a minute, it does appear that you can just put both marbles inside the cube, and they will eventually find their way to the bottom. Okay, well I managed to get one of them out. The other one is stuck in here somewhere. Alright, well, both of them are back out. So I'm going to stick both of these in here, get them nice and mixed up inside, and give this thing some first turns. Okay, it is incredibly stiff, and one of the immediate issues that I see is that when you rotate the puzzle like 45 degrees, you can actually see inside the tubes. So, this could potentially be an issue, because if the ball is capable of slipping out, then, well, that defeats the whole purpose of this Cubix Tube thing. But I did also notice magnets inside, so I would assume that this cube has a magnetic mechanism, but it's such a stiff puzzle that you wouldn't, like, notice it normally. So, yeah, this is a really neat concept, but it requires a little bit of lubrication, and this is kind of like a two-step kind of puzzle. So it's like this thing's a two-step kind of puzzle. So the first step is, of course, to solve the cube and get it back into its, like, snaking tube design. The second portion of the puzzle is then to navigate the marbles out of the maze, and then, yeah, you beat the puzzle. So a fully solved state would be both marbles have exited the puzzle successfully. So it's definitely an interesting twist on a classic design, and I really like this, and I'm going to play around with this a little bit more after I finish this unboxing video. Alright, next up is this Mefferts Megaminx, and I figured I might as well pick one up because I've never had a Mefferts Megaminx before. I've had a QJ, and I've had a MF8, and I currently use an X-Men Galaxy Megaminx as my main. But this is the Mefferts Megaminx, and it doesn't really... Oh, actually, I've heard that you can't really speed solve really well with these, but I guess that was wrong, because this actually turns, like, really nicely. Much better than the MF8 one that I have at home, but nowhere near as well as the X-Men Megaminx, which I currently have scrambled. I was actually about to solve it, but the thing that I like more about the X-Men Megaminx is the fact that it's got these ridges which help you grip the puzzle as you turn it. Also, the faces on the X-Band Megaminx are much larger than the faces on the Mefferts Megaminx, so it's a little bit harder to grip. But beyond that, it actually turns fairly decently. So I mean, it's what you expect out of a Mefferts product. They're very high build quality, really well designed puzzles. But this isn't something that I would prefer to use in a competition. I would much rather use this one, mainly because it's easier to grip. But this is still a really nice Megaminx. Actually, I'm pretty certain the X-Band Megaminx is like a good half an inch taller or a quarter inch taller than the Mefferts one. So this Mefferts Megaminx, like, it's definitely a lot smaller, hence why the faces are smaller. So I do prefer the X-Man to it, but this is like a not half bad Megaminx, so I'm glad that I picked this thing up. And the last puzzle that I have for today's unboxing is this Mefferts Gear Cube. So I'm gonna pop open this box, but the Gear Cube is basically no different than the Gear Ball. They are the exact same puzzle, at least from what I've been told. And I don't really know how true that is, because the Gear Cube that I picked up has these extra stickers along the centerpieces, and for some reason this lighting is just not that great. So if you look closely, and yeah, I really raised the exposure, but the centerpieces have these additional stickers around it, and I don't really remember if the Gear Ball has that. But regardless, it's another Mefferts product, and it turns really well, and I have no complaints about it. And I'm sure this isn't going to be much harder than the Gear Ball, because the Gear Cube is very, very similar to it. But I will see if these extra stickers make an impact, or at least verify that the Gear Ball doesn't have these. Because if it does have these, then this is going to be a harder puzzle, because then you have to worry about center edge piece alignment as opposed to just the corner and edges. So I will give this puzzle a quick scramble and solve it off camera, because this video is getting way too long. It's going to be shorter after editing, of course, but regardless, I picked up about $100 worth of puzzles. This is hands down the most expensive puzzle unboxing I've ever done, so hashtag put that money in the title. But basically, I picked up this Cubix Tube puzzle, which is like a 3x3 with a maze built into it. This Idiot's Cube, this It Cube, so featuring Pennywise from the It movie, the Gear Cube, Mefferts Megaminx, this fidget spinner kind of puzzle, and then 2 cubes that I picked up from an airport. So in all, there are 7 cube puzzles, and then this fidget spinner, so technically 8 different puzzles. So I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of long unboxing. Let me know what you guys think I should get next, what I should talk about next, and with that being said, that about wraps up this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more cubing content. Keep on cubing, guys, and I will see you in the next video.